Hi there, welcome back to Spindle UK. Things have taken a little bit of a slower turn this week because I've been back at work, and after having had a week off, then you know how it works, you've suddenly got 2 weeks worth of work to do in 1 week, and time for sticking bits of wood together is few and far between. So not an awful lot's been going on, but we are going to start again and catch up with a little bit of the important work. Next job we're going to do is complete the centreboard. So to recap, we've got the inboard side of the centreboard case installed. We need to put a bit of tape over this fillet here. We've got the graphite on the inboard end of the centreboard, and down here we've got the beginnings of the spindle hole. More on that to come later. What we need to do now is complete the outboard side. I don't know if you remember, we already have this mocked up, so that will go in there. And what I'll need to do next is do the inside coating with some graphite on there as well. And then we can fill it in, and we've got to install the spindle for the centreboard blade itself. So I just want to do another little dry fit, and then we'll get on with completing that. Here I go. Can't stroke you because I've got gunky fingers. Okay, so we've got the inboard side of the centreboard trunk coated in its graphite layer, and it's that stage now, my favourite bit, where I actually get to finally stick a bit onto the boat in its permanent position. So got to mix up a bit of thickened epoxy to put on the edges, and then we'll get this bit installed. Spoon on the end of the stick. Got the idea off of Dana Pike for that one, because I've got to get in here to fill it and get all of that epoxy nice and neatly smoothed away. So, for those of you who don't know, one of my other jobs is I'm the lead singer in a covers band. We had a really big gig last night and didn't get home until after 1:30 in the morning. Pumped up with adrenaline, couldn't go to sleep until 3. So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm totally washed out. But there's boat work to do, so what other way to unwind and relax after a heavy night than doing a bit of woodwork. Right, so a little bit of progress done here. I can't build anyway. So I've made a mistake. It's not the end of the world, but you can see that lateral bulkhead there is not perpendicular. I don't know how that happened because I did measure it. Obviously something went wrong in the measurement, so using a trusty heat gun, just to get rid of that fillet. Okay, so I've dry fitted the final parts of the centerboard case. I've got the bottom batten, which I've put a round on it so that it can take some fiberglass. I've got an additional batten running along the length of the centerboard case because I need to make a removable cover, so I need some meat to screw into. And also we've got this piece of brass tube which I'm going to make the bearings that these centerboard pivots on. And I need to make sure that it goes through absolutely perpendicular. So before I fitted both of those lateral bulkheads there, I've drilled a hole where in both of them so that they would match up. And now I've got my laser level, and I've lined it up so that it is parallel with the hole, and then vertically the same as well. And then, as you can see, we have the laser going right the way through. So that indicates to me that those holes are actually completely in line, I think anyway. Okay, so this is the spindle axle, the bit that the centerboard is going to pivot on, and that will go right the way through the centerboard case and then end in a waterproof sort of terminal. So that's what the centerboard hangs on, and it needs to be housed in some bushings. I couldn't get any bushings, so what I do have is a piece of brass that the spindle fits in perfectly, and what I need to do is cut them to size so that they fit inside the edges of the centerboard casing. And then there's also going to be another bit going right the way through the centerboard as well, so it's only going to be metal spinning on metal, which will avoid wear and tear as the centerboard comes up and down. Right, okay, let's get that cut. I think I'll put safety glasses on for this one. Brilliant. The grinder's broken. So that bit will be housed in there. Brilliant. Allowing that bit to go through there. Okay, so many apologies to everybody for how long it's taken me to get this next instalment out. The simple fact of the matter is that although I've been working quite long hours and diligently to make progress, there's not an awful lot of progress happened, and I've got stuck on the centerboard spindle. It's one of those things, it's got to be done accurately and you only really get one shot at it, so I've ummed and ahed and tried several different methods and adapted the way that the book is telling you to do it and that kind of thing. So, you know, the good news is that now we've got the bushes in the actual centerboard itself, and I think that's the key, is to actually having the centerboard in place with the spindle through, so that I can then be absolutely sure that when I glue in the bushes on the centerboard casing, then they're going to line up properly. I think that's how it's going to happen. Just got to wait for this bit of epoxy to dry and for me to finish off the other side of that. I'll let you know in the next episode if that's working or not. So anyway, it's all good fun. Cheers.